The upcoming Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries will be the most significant astrological transit of our lifetimes. Both planets will be near conjunct to the North Node in March 2025 in the last decan of Pisces. By July 25th, 2025, they will be within half a degree orb at 1 degree Aries before making the conjunction at 0 degrees Aries on February 20th, 2026, the beginning of a new era. Saturn is the planet of structure, discipline, control, boundaries, authority, and responsibility. It rules governments, monarchies, institutions, CEOs, politicians, and even teeth and bones. The skeleton is a biological structure. Saturn is also the planet of limitation, constriction, pain, fear, delay, and caution. Neptune is known as the planet of mist and mysticism. It is the intangible substance of our illusions, delusions, dreams, creativity, and spirituality. Neptune also rules water, ocean, rain, snow, and liquids of all kinds, including alcohol, drugs, psychedelics, chemicals, oil, science, and pandemics. The energies of these planets are contradictory. When they collide in a conjunction, it creates tension between the material and the spiritual, religion and secularism, and illusion and reality, creating confusion, disillusionment, and uncertainty in our inner and outer worlds. This conjunction is significant because it will sit at 0 degrees Aries, directly on what is referred to as the axis of the world. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac, an impulsive fire sign represented by the ram. When Neptune moves into Aries, it is like a tidal wave that hits the retaining walls built by Saturn, leaving wreckage everywhere. As the water recedes, we rebuild the structures with more thought and integrity. Astrologer Cam White describes the Neptune-Saturn conjunction as being blissed out at the height of an ayahuasca ceremony or acid trip, and suddenly the temple is raided by a SWAT team. Illusion meets harsh reality. Neptune takes 165 years to orbit the Sun. So many people will not experience this conjunction to their natal charts in their lifetime. For those who do, it is considered one of the most difficult astrological transits, especially if it is poorly aspected in the natal chart. Even if this coming transit doesn't aspect the natal chart, the ramifications of this transit will impact every person on the planet at some level. The last Saturn-Neptune conjunction was 1989 in Capricorn, which saw riots in Tiananmen Square, the fall of the Berlin Wall, the end of communism, and the US invasion of Panama. It also marked the beginning of the end of South African apartheid in 1990, while the conjunction was still in orb. There was also a power grid failure due to a geomagnetic storm. The conjunction of 1952 and 53 in Pisces was the year Stalin died and the year the Korean War ended, creating a permanent division between North and South Korea. The CIA created MK Ultra. The CIA also orchestrated a coup to overthrow the Iranian Prime Minister. There was a polio epidemic and the Great Smog in London. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction of 1917 in Cancer was the year of the Russian Revolution and the US entry into World War I. The conjunction in 1882 saw the Anglo-Egyptian War. The last time Neptune was in Aries, from 1861 to 1875, it coincided with the American Civil War, which began just one day after Neptune entered Aries. The Communist Manifesto was published in the wake of the 1846 conjunctions, with Saturn still in orb of Neptune. The Boston Tea Party occurred 3 months after the 1773 Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Virgo. The Spanish War ended in 1630 during the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Scorpio. In 1534 to 1547, Neptune and Saturn were in Aries, along with Pluto in Aquarius, and shortly after Uranus in Gemini. During this time, Henry VIII created the Protestant Church of England, eliminating the monasteries, religious relics, and churches. Saturn rules religious institutions, Neptune rules spirituality. Elizabeth I established the Church of England with the Act of Uniformity, 1559, and the Act of Supremacy, 1559, the same year as the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Taurus. Note, Uranus enters Gemini in July 2025 and stays until May of 2033. Pluto will be in Aquarius while Mars and Neptune are in Saturn. This is a repeat of 1534 to 1547. My own prediction is the 0-degree conjunction will collapse the Catholic Church and religion during this period. In 1380, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries saw the defeat of the Golden Horde, which led to the disintegration into smaller states like Crimea and Uzbekistan. The Saturn-Neptune in conjunction in Aries during 91 BC saw the Social War, a civil war of Italian locals seeking citizenship in the Roman Republic that created the basis for the present-day Western legal system. John F. Kennedy had a Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping were born with a Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Virgo, reflecting their need for order. It is quite likely we will witness their downfall as the world order crumbles. Historically, when the United States has its Uranus return in Gemini, there is war that affects the political and social landscape of the country. The American Revolutionary War from 1775 to 1783 saw the United States founded in 1776, with Uranus in Gemini from May 1767 to April 1779. The Revolutionary War marked the birth of the nation. The American Civil War from 1861 to 1865 occurred during the next Uranus in Gemini phase from April 1859 to March 1871. The Civil War began in 1861. World War II from 1939 to 1945 saw US involvement begin in December 1941. Uranus entered Gemini in August 1941 and remained there until September 1948. Uranus will return to Gemini in July 2025 and will remain until July 2033. What does this upcoming conjunction mean for the United States and the world? As Neptune passed through Pisces, more truths about our governments, politicians, leaders, celebrities, and industries have come to light. What we thought was true has been exposed as a lie, leaving the population frustrated and angry. Multinationals have turned humans into chattel, bound to rules enforced by poverty and a gun, while gaslighting humans for the effects of their endless wars, pollution, and weaponized weather. The massive disparity between the rich and the poor highlights the inequality of wealth and power. Generation Z feels hopeless and desires to redistribute wealth around the world. Neptune is at 29 degrees, the final degree that has to deal with the unfinished business from the entire Pisces transit before moving to Aries. Meanwhile, Saturn is in retrograde, the shadow side where we are feeling a crisis of faith as we confront the unfolding reality that the institutions we thought we knew to be true were a dystopian lie. It is a collective dark night of the soul. Saturn is in fall in Aries. The crumbling structures built by Saturn will be swept away by the force of Neptune. Saturn in Aries is the rejection of old rules and authority figures. There are no gods and no masters. Saturn in Aries forces one to think and do for themselves. On the plus side, this allows humanity to create the future they want, with the Pluto sextile that allows us to use technology for the benefit of humanity rather than transhumanism. It will not be an easy period, but there is luminous light by the end of the transits.